Welcome to the Ultimate Cycling Training Camp with Team EF Coaching in Girona. I am your host, Charles Wimet, an high-level amateur cyclist and YouTuber who's always looking for the extra edge to elevate my cycling abilities. For 6 days in a row, follow a group of 8 amateur cyclists with 2 world-class coaches as we embark on this experience of a lifetime where the group and I will test our physical and mental limits, all for common goals: to become better cyclists. What did we learn during this training camp? Did I become faster?
400! Yeah!
Welcome to Team Camp, Charles.
Find out by yourself and experience this training camp firsthand with me, exclusively on my YouTube channel. Coming up next in episode number 2.
When we look at FTP, it's very clear that FTP has no application to sport at all.
You explode in the first minute and ride high power, then things go catastrophically poor.
This is incredible to be able to utilize the pro team assets and make our own training camp out of it.
That's the pinball, that's the pedal effect of being at the end of a 5-minute effort.
Ouch!
So many people just end up turning tempos into thresholds.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna pin it every single time at the top of my tempo zone, maybe a little bit over.
We are heading to Federal Cafe in Girona.
And who owns that cafe?
It's Rory Sutherland, ex-movie star and Tinkoff Pro.
Here, we want you to be pushing forward and down. And in order to push, you have to have functional range of movement, not just be there. You've got to actually be able to apply horse.
Get that bubble butt, Charles.
Yeah, hot as water, baby. Stop, just stop. Do not put that on video.
What's up, guys? Day 2 is about to start, but today is going to be a very important day because we're going to set up or test our DTP. Team EF Coaching are not using the FTP, they're using their own DTP, Dynamic Threshold Power. What is that? We're gonna figure out later today.
Backgrounds. When we were first creating the company, we created all of our own proprietary ways of measuring fitness and our own scale of zones. So when we look at FTP, it's very clear that FTP has no application to sport at all. It doesn't exist anywhere in cycling. There's no such thing as a 20-minute effort where you show up full of carbohydrates with a clean jersey, feeling good, looking good, smelling good, and you do your best 20-minute effort up a climb. Why are we going to build a program around some fantasy number? So we're like, well, what really defines results in races? Almost every single race, even when we won the Bond 2 Challenge this year, we won that race with a 5-minute distinct effort within a long climb. But that acceleration was 5 minutes and then back down to threshold. So we've learned that the defining moments in cycling, staying with the group, getting separation, surviving, winning, all these different things come down to periods of 5 minutes or less. And so dynamic threshold power is just what it says it is. It's a more dynamic way of looking at your actually defining abilities in the sport of cycling. So are you going to survive? Are you going to stay with the first group? Are you going to get separation from the group behind if you're trying to attack? What are those defining abilities?
Our goal is to have power look like this. And if you are a very glycolytic rider, you might have a slight, at the very, very end, we're talking in the final 15 seconds, maybe 30 at the most. If it's more than that, you mispaced it. You left too much in the tank. When we say mean maximum effort, what I mean is hit it, ride like somebody, like you've got 5 minutes to the finish line of a race and you're pulling off the pulp. You're being attacked by a pack of cheetahs, right? Someone's shooting you with a gun, like that fast. You explode here in the first minute and ride high power, then things go catastrophically poor.
Gotta love all the support we got here. This is incredible to be able to utilize the pro team assets and make our own training camp out of it. So this is awesome. This is such a good idea. It's a start, day 2. All right, Zach, so quick question here. How are you using the DTP afterwards for the rest of the week or the rest of a training program for the athletes?
Yeah, so the DTP test or assessment will give us the ability to put people in different groups, find a unique way for everybody to participate in the challenges that we have coming up, and just get the most out of their week here in terms of developing new skills and abilities.
All right, Kobe, question for you when it comes to the DTP test, the 5 minute. You see me, I'm a bit more on the muscular side of a cyclist. How much out of saddle, in the saddle, when should I alternate between in and out?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, of course it's up to the individual rider and their phenotype a bit, right? When you get to the steeper pitches, to go out of the saddle. Okay. Also, if you feel, for example, a lot of load building in one particular muscle group, like the quads or maybe the lower back, you feel load building, that's a good time to stand up.
Change.
To distribute the load share.
We're about to get to the climb, and Zach just asked everyone for their FTP because he will be sending us one by one. The highest FTP or highest watts per kilo start last. So everyone has this rabbit, this person to chase. So I love this. It's going to be good games. For the guys at the front, they want to not get caught. And for the guys at the rear, they want to catch up.
So guys, the first minute, no more than 150 watts. And everybody here.
On that hill?
On that hill. After 1 minute, you hit lap and you start your effort. Okay?
You're not trying to catch your rider in front of you
5
during
minutes.
1 minute.
Go.
Let's go. Let's go, Richard.
Good luck, Richard.
Let's go, Craig. You got this.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Zach, why are you making me do this?
I'm not making you do it. This is something you want to do.
Yeah, shoot. I want to do it.
15 seconds. You're gonna crush it, buddy. Let's go, big number. PR, baby.
PR? PR. Let's do it.
Awesome. Let's go. You're off. Good luck.
30 seconds in. What is you? That view's insane.
The harder you go, what happens is your universe shrinks, right? It's like, ooh, everything hurts. Stuff starts to hurt. My lungs hurt. My legs hurt. And now I'm noticing less trees and less deer. I don't really care about the forest. I don't care about the ocean. That's a nice sunset, but I'm not watching. And then the harder you go, the smaller it gets. The smaller it gets. All you can see your car reader and the right? Until you're looking through a pinhole. As this is a 5-minute effort plan. Anything except the road and whether I'm gonna hit something, right? And if you bet, and so you bet in that moment where someone says something to you and you hear it, but you can't respond, you can't even process it. And like that's the pinhole, that's the pinhole effect of being at the end of a 5-minute effort.
Ouch!
Ouch.
Ouch! Thanks. All right, so now 15 minutes tempo. So now that we just have that 5-minute effort, we know my tempo, and it is 266 watts. So I start this right now.
But the only thing I'll add to the tempo is this staying a little bit under your tempo zone. It's actually really beneficial because, like Colby was saying, so many people just end up turning tempos into thresholds. Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna pin it every single time at the top of my tempo zone, maybe a little bit over my tempo zone because I'm feeling good today. And that's just not what a tempo is designed for. So there's five watts under, maximum to the top of the 0.7.
The 0.7.
You know, that's the maximum we want you to be at, but don't be going over.
All right, tempo, 15 minutes effort. Was easier than I expected.
15 seconds. Oh, psych. Oh, gotcha. You see got it. Jurgen, you're off.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I can do it.
Hey guys, quick 15-second interruption here. Just as a reminder, 81% of you who have watched episode number 1 are not subscribed to my YouTube channel. So why don't you fix that, click that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up at the same time.
How should I aim and how should I pace it? Try to be at the same number I've done?
I mean, in theory, and if you did your work right, you went really deep on the first one, and then you rode your tempo properly, it'll be really hard to maintain the same power for the second 5 minute. And that difference tells us a lot about your fitness. So that's the point of the test.
Okay. So if now, let's say I do 330, that means I'm totally exploded. I should not be going that low from 380.
Right. Well, But that's just it. It depends a lot on whether you're a very glycolytic rider or more VO2 max oriented rider. You know, it's all data. That'll be the discussion tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So
Yeah.
Still gonna. But best case scenario is you get closer to that first effort.
Yep.
That's ideal.
That's ideal.
Or you didn't went as hard.
Or you didn't go hard enough in the first effort.
362. Ouch. So I lost 18 watts for my last 5. I hope that's good. Day 2 efforts are done. Gotta love to have the EF car with us here. I'm very proud of my own effort here. I've given my all, so that's all that matters. The ride is done, and now the day's not over. We're heading out to Girona for a tour and a dinner over there, and I think they have a surprise for us.
We are heading to Federal Cafe in Girona.
And who owns that cafe?
It's Rory Sutherland, ex-movie star in Tinkoff.
Well, so I'm going to take you to a very quick walking tour because apparently you have a lot to do still. You're like a busy people.
That's brilliant.
Just, yeah, it's delicious, and we have actually a competition of millions of people have kissed this.
Kiss his ass.
Yeah.
All right, back to the hotel.
Enjoying that. All right, so when you get there...
This still works?
Looks like it does.
Yeah. Anyone got a 5 or a 10? I feel like a smoking one here.
Smoke while we're doing this? 20.
Oh.
Physical mobility. We're going to define a little bit about mobility. We're going to talk about the difference between mobility and stretching, right? And then we're going to specifically address some hip openers that I believe are useful for cyclists. And this is based on all the years of cycling I've done and all the studying I've done of all the people. Fundamentally, cycling is about making your torso horizontal, right? And when we make our torso horizontal, the hip angle becomes more acute. So that means that at the top of the pedal stroke, your femur is closer to your thigh. So you end up in this orientation here, right? And this requires, you can see my thighs almost touching or is touching my rib cage, and that puts a large amount of tension on the posterior chain, which is all the muscles on the back side of the body, all the way up to the top of my head. So here's an example of our hip angle, right? You can see a very horizontal torso, and that's because as you travel through the air, which is actually a fluid, believe it or not, right? The more we put the torso in this line, then really we have the head and the front of the shoulders making the initial air contact, and the air is the torso becomes a longer shape, oriented to get to hide more of the volume relative to the wind. So you have to have flexible hips to ride your bike. That's really what I'm saying. One of the biggest arguments for having flexible hips is that as soon as you begin the power phase, here, we want you pushing forward and down. And in order to push, you have to have functional range of movement, not just be there. You got to actually be able to apply force. So you gain functional strength, right?
Look at that bubble butt, Charles.
Yeah, caught in the water, baby. Stop, just stop. Do not put that on video.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Gobi.
So Zach, how was that? How are you feeling?
Well, let's interview the more important guy, the guy who really runs the show behind the scenes.
Yes.
Dan Lutz over here.
How do you say so?
Dan, how you feeling at the end of day 2?
It's been awesome. Like, the ride this morning was incredible along the coast. Like, seeing you guys go full gas, 5-minute intervals, and yeah, awesome day.
Action packed.
Thanks, Dan, for everything. We appreciate it. It's great.
Dan's the man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Day 2 done. Feeling good. Very, very, very happy about my effort today. It was just so fun. I'm glad that I've been back on this route, the Costa Brava route. It's amazing. Highly, 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 highly recommend that you guys come to Girona and do it. It's magical. It's beautiful. So yeah, tomorrow, day 3 out of 7. Another tough day on the bike. I think there will be some games, some chasing action.
So definitely looking forward to it. And Kobe has sort of this crazy plan and games to have all of us work hard and chase each other. I'm not too sure how I was going to play it out, but it's going to be great games and great learnings to be from those games. So yeah, time to go to sleep, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Peace.
Coming up next in episode number 3.
Cycling, while many of us do it on an individual basis, is absolutely a team sport.
We expect this to be a really close race.
Very close.
The objective is to get your leader to the top of this climb before the other team.
And Zach's gonna hold these guys back for 5.5 minutes.
Go get the guys at the finish. Come on, Charles, you hear that?
Riding a pace line on dead flat roads is a lot easier than riding on a pace line that's changing terrain, up, down, left, right. Everybody in the group has to work to maintain that gap. We don't want to close it super fast. There's no doing a huge surge, just nuking it and closing the gap, because this is actually a little bit of a race scenario. And what would happen there, then all of our sprinters in behind would get screwed because all the opportunists would now be launched in.
Funniest moment of the camp is Zach trying to get on my wheel and just hearing that chase slip. 3 times.
Zach, can we talk about your knee? How's it doing right now? Dude, you smashed that thing.
Yeah, that was pretty hard. Come on, I did pretty hard off the bar. Not as hard as you possibly would want to hit your knee off the very thing.
Go, 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 go. Oh, dude, that hurt bad. I'm gonna just motor pace me out. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Just motor pace me out.